Meeting. My name is Jim O'Connor. I'm the chairman. We'll go around and introduce ourselves. Jim?
Jim Ronay.
Dan Zapatka.
Steve Besputa.
Jack Pritchard.
Deb Satonic, Secretary.
Dan Lynch.
So welcome, everyone. It's another beautiful month, and I guess it only rains in certain parts of Orange, we just found out. So, a public dialogue, which I don't see anyone from the public here, so we will move on to approval of the minutes, May minutes. If I could get a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Steve, second. Jack, okay, let's see, any discussions, any additions, deletions? Anybody see anything?
Yeah, under 4 old business.
Yep,
Basically, Chris filled in potholes at Turkey Hill Preserve instead of the road grinding, all right?
perfect. I was just up there, actually took a walk, it looks great.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's great little,
That's
I've
a
never,
popular spot too.
yeah, I've never really stopped. I drive by it every day to go to the gym, and I've never stopped, so now that school's a little slow, I could
You
stop.
ever walk it?
Yeah, that's what I mean, I walked it the other day, it's gorgeous.
It's
It's unbelievable.
2 or 3 different trails.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out. My wife is a walker, so
Oh,
I
that's
gotta
good.
get her out there. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, let's go on to old business. Questions from previous meeting. Obviously, Steve ran the meeting, so if there's anything you need, Steve, just jump in.
All right, I talked to Jimmy, and there's gonna be, Mark, well, sure. I talked to the first selectman, there's gonna be, handicap spots at the new playground, marked and, laid out on the paved part of the parking lot.
Beautiful. Any other questions, Danny? Whether-
No, there was nothing
I wasn't
else,
here.
and I'll go over everything else in my direct
Okay,
report.
great. Let's move on to new business, grounds and facilities. Steve, you're back up.
I have no report at this time.
Personnel, obviously, all the summer staff is going strong. Danny's said everything's going well, so that's it for personnel. Budget. Let's spend our 5 seconds of cursory, it should be almost, everything should be in the 90s to 100%.
There are some
Right.
things that are in the negative, but they've been taken care of. We've had a lot of spending, and especially in the maintenance and repair, with our grounds and our grounds department and maintenance department. A lot of stuff has come up this spring and summer, so.
And you guys got a
Transfers
new
have been
mower
taken,
too.
and we got a new mower, because
Oh,
one of them.
congrats.
Yeah,
Yes.
I forgot about
We,
that.
That's
had to
awesome.
move some money around, and, we talked to the finance director. Chris went over and talked to him specifically, because the mower that we had was done. It was,
It was
kaput.
like 8 years old.
I know.
and we went over to all these other places, everything's on back order.
Yep,
So he went over to Knights. Knights had one of the machines we needed. We talked to the finance director. We took some money out of some accounts that we had to do, and
Perfect.
taken care of.
beautiful. Beautiful work by your department.
Everybody's happy.
Obviously, we know Chris doesn't ask for things when he doesn't need it, so we know that, and you could see every day it's used well, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess then we are now to the director's report.
I did mention at last month's meeting, and Jim, when you weren't here, the finance department did grant us everything that we asked for, and the finance committee and board, with our new budget coming up July 1, so. Perfect. That's a good thing.
Great job, Dan, by you and your team.
We try. We try. Director's report, I will go over everything. I'll answer any questions at the end. Obviously, all of our summer programs have begun. Our day camp registration numbers are fantastic. Every session is full. We are at 130 kids for this day camp session 1. We are in our second week already, believe it or not. Traveling teams is going strong. First 2 weeks were full. Weeks 3 and 4, there are still openings. I know next week is a holiday week. That's always our slowest week for traveling teens, but if you still are interested at home, by all means, you can register online, or you can register right in our department. Weeks 3, which is next week already for traveling teens, weeks 4, and then weeks 5 and 7 have very minimal spots left. Again, if you're interested, please register online or in the office. Last week, this current week, week 6 and week 8 are all full for traveling teens. Obviously, we talked about earlier, our parks and maintenance crew is very busy this time of the year with all the mowing and cleanup work, ball field maintenance tasks, all the district tournaments and Seabreeze tournaments down at Old Tavern Road Sports Complex. You got the Amity baseball camp down there, Sal Capola's camp. I was down there today. It's a busy place. All our pavilion rentals. We have the 4th of July concert and fireworks this weekend on Sunday, July 2nd. Concert starts at 6:30, and the fireworks are set to go off, I was told, around 9:30 p.m. If it happens to rain, which I don't think it's going to, the rain date is the following Sunday, July 9th. Also, all of our pavilion rentals, almost every weekend is full, in our front pavilion and back pavilion. I will go over the aquatics report and the programs report as well. The summer pool hours, camp and summer swim lessons began on June 19th. We are able to offer a few more classes this summer. We are having lessons in the evenings on Sunday mornings, and we will have the mini sessions once again. Those are very popular. They're 4 2-week mini sessions. They meet Monday through Friday in the morning. You get a lot of activity there before the camp kids come in. She's also offering 2 new programs this summer. They have a stroke clinic offered for the upper level swimmers and a diving class and clinic for the springboard diving participants. The pool will be closed on July 4th and the weekend of the carnival, first weekend in August. You'll also be closing early on that Thursday and Friday of the carnival as well. And there will be regular hours at the pool and with our department office on Monday, July 3rd, the day before the 4th. We are open, regular hours. Okay, on the programming end, our softball league is going strong. We have a Monday and Wednesday night league. There's 6 teams in both night leagues. I already went over all the summer registration, the day camp numbers, traveling teen numbers, what's open. Again, if you are interested in traveling teens in the weeks that are open, please sign up online or come into the office. Any questions, you can always call the office or email any staff member. And our fitness room is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Our fitness room membership renewals and pool membership renewals will begin on July 3rd, Monday. Or after that, if you want to come in after the holiday, that's fine as well too. All right, so a lot going on, very busy. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer anything that you have.
Any questions, commission members?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Dan, who maintains the disc golf? Does a group or you guys?
The group, which is a volunteer group, that whole crew they have that does all the work,
Yeah,
they maintain it or keep it
Yeah.
clean. We do all the garbage.
yeah,
we
yeah.
Go through the
And
trails.
mowing and
Yes.
stuff, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's popular.
Oh, very popular.
Very.
Yep. Going
They-
strong.
They replace the goals if
Oh,
they.
anything
Yeah,
that's
the
broken.
basket.
Yeah, the baskets,
Alright.
things like
They
that.
have this
They've
whole
done all the
group.
year.
They're
Yeah.
out throughout the whole state. We're one of the few. How many are there, Jim? You're into this.
There's about 10. I don't
Is there
play
10
that
now?
often, but there's about 10
I know
good
you're-
locations. Yeah, that everyone looks. I've played a few times. It's pretty awesome. There's a group though. There's competitive leagues that are based out that have standings, just like softball and
Okay.
things like that. So they within their missions costs, they also add to what needs to be done at the different locations.
They will do anything
and
needs to be
everything
done,
we
and they
ask.
don't ask for anything.
All
They
right,
don't ask for
Dan,
time.
do you
They just
have-
need the area?
the maps or the discs to rent out or give out
They are
still?
redoing their map because they added some holes into the course.
All right,
He hasn't given it to me yet, but there's a new map that's coming out.
all right.
He just needs to email it to me. He hasn't done it yet. We do have discs, but most of the people that play
Yeah.
have their own.
But you can go
But
in the
anybody that's
office-
interested, you can
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah,
We have a map, an older map, which you could still follow, but
Yes.
there are some additions to it that,
yeah.
They
to get.
update, they do it. We also, if there's any, because there are some walkers around there, there's other town
Yeah.
people. We've also gotten sometimes where they said, this is happening. So they come in and we've had really great communication with them, Steve, over
No,
the years. So that's.
We haven't
yeah.
talked about it
And
in
in
a
a while,
while.
yeah.
Yeah,
no, they're fantastic. They're very easy to work with,
yeah.
and they
One of the best groups.
keep,
yeah.
oh,
You leave the area clean, right?
Yeah.
great tenant.
Oh,
There's
unbelievable.
never any issues.
Yeah.
There is a
No,
lot
that's
of
good.
traffic down there, especially on the weekends. But, you know, if there's something going on at the pavilion or an event, they know about it, I keep them informed, and there's never any problems.
Yeah, they stay away if that back pavilion
Yes.
is rented. They'll skip that whole, they're very courteous. They're good people.
But it's a very popular program.
More and more, I watched tonight, and Jim would probably know about this. Lots of pickleball injuries, Deb. Everybody's complaining about a lot of pickleball injuries. It's crazy.
They are on those courts every
Yeah, it is.
day.
Wonderful.
I mean, we only got two of them,
Yeah.
but they're there.
Oh, yeah.
They come in early before camp starts, and they come in after.
After?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know there's that too.
Yeah, whatever happened to those windscreens we talked about?
They're all
They're-
on back order.
Yeah.
I can't get, yep,
Okay.
yep,
Yeah, 'cause
They will
it
be
always
coming.
gets windy up there.
yeah,
Wind
it
goes
does.
through there.
Yep,
Yeah. Dan said that 2 or 3 months ago.
yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
waiting on those.
And could you look into now would be a good time if we looked into the skating rink?
Oh, yeah.
Just if we could do that
Yeah.
for.
The liner and-
Not the
yeah.
liner now.
Yeah.
Probably will
The
take
nice
6
ring.
months, yeah. The nice ring, that's it.
Kevin Capsulatro sells those.
That's-
I
yeah,
can
that's
give
good.
him a call if. you-
Perfect.
That's perfect, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
I'll give him a call.
Okay, so any other questions? Obviously, want to welcome Deb Davis and Chuck Stackpole came in. For once, we started quickly, summer hours. We're on summer hours, Deb. We never start early. Today, we started right on time. We had a quorum. We usually never have a quorum at 7:30, so we got going to get us out of here. No, welcome. You guys, it's busy in the summer. So, Chairman's report, the only thing I would like to add, and Jack, you could chime in if you have any thoughts, because I've only been to one of the recent meetings. Jack and I sit on the Fred Wolf Committee, and we just brought a proposal for a traffic arrangement. We had to narrow down the scope. We both, I think Jack and I both wished the scope of it could be bigger for what we wanted this outside consultant group to do. But we had to start small, and it's really the traffic flow and those type of things. This contract will hopefully lead to, with this group, a bigger arrangement where we'll have a good relationship with them. They will do things such as traffic studies. They will help us with grants and research on grants and proposals down the line, because I think that's going to really be the big next step of who do we solicit for money? Where do we solicit? They will help us with that. That was one of the key parts of it.
That's a good idea.
Because we obviously know the parameters we're working with. If you guys haven't been down at Fred Wolf, please take a drive by between next month. It looks fantastic. It really, they really did a great job. I know here, there, and everyone, everyone has their difference of opinion, but it looks professionally done. It's wonderful. The new access road is wide. We're working on some things to help the neighbors. The neighbors came into the meeting to talk with us. So we're taking a lot of the things that the last time we did this as a commission, the Fred Wolf study is Fred Wolf group, whatever it might be, is taking a lot of that on. So, and I think it's appropriately done because we can focus in on just Fred Wolf Park, and really we'll stay together as long as it needs. But let everyone know this isn't gonna be overnight. Money is gonna get tighter and tighter, so we're gonna have to look in multiple ways and multiple times, and, the town just doesn't have the dollars to put into it. So we're gonna look at other means. Jack?
No, I agree. It's gonna take, we were hoping to have a bigger scope,
Yeah,
and lay out, Federal Park for not just its current condition, but future. So not necessarily saying we're gonna put a field here, field hockey or whatever, but in the future, you'll have this much space for a field, and you'll have parking, X amount of parking. So then we could decide maybe later on what might go in there. It doesn't have to be done right now, but future expansion, how, you're gonna go through with the traffic and the pedestrian, walking and all that stuff, so. I think for now, it's gonna be, here's how we come in, here's how we stay safe at the playground, and that's really it for now.
Yeah.
And then we'll take it from there.
and it needs some, obviously Jim and the playground committee have really thought of a lot of things that I think that other people didn't think they thought about. Because sometimes our, the communication from one group to the other, it doesn't always get out there, but the roads are wide. The access is safe.
There's curbs.
There's curbs.
High
There was,
curbs.
yeah, high curbs,
Fencing.
fencing.
Yeah.
I think all of those
Double
safety was,
fencing.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything's been thought of and very thoroughly, and I've been impressed. And part of this will be able to continue that work on that narrow area that the playground committee did, and Jim, to the whole facility will be our work, to really tie that in, look at the neighbors. Obviously, what we have seen that this group really should know is there's been a huge turnover on all the roads around there. I think we heard from a couple of the residents, and the houses have been selling down there. The people have been moving, so we have young children that are on the access, on all the different roads. So we got parents that care, want to be involved, want a fresh start. They want to use the playground. They're super excited about the playground, so that's nice to hear. Anything else did I miss besides that, Jack?
I think
Okay.
that covers it.
Good.
We'll have more in the next
Yeah.
couple of months.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great group of people, and John Carancho's doing a really nice job of leading us. So, I always say thank you to John, because it's tough. And him and PJ are doing a great job of also bringing our needs back to the selectmen. So,
Perfect.
There's one thing I'd just
Yeah.
like to also add to it. We were just talking about grants, and I guess I can't stress how important it is. We had one of our residents talk about Clinton, I think it was.
Yeah.
And we've had some long conversations with them, and a lot of their work is done, and the facilities they have are from grants. They're not necessarily in the budget, and they really do a lot of work to get these grants from the state. And that's how they put a lot of that. They have some very, very nice facilities. That's how they do it. It's not necessarily in the budget. It's all with these grants. So that's something we need to look at.
they do it exactly the opposite. Jack taught me, and I was talking to our facilities director in Branford, retired, and so I was at the meeting, and they're looking to rearrange now. He retired with the town and the school system. Clinton actually does it the reverse, where Public Works actually does everything that the way Orange Park and Rec does. And Park and Rec is very small. But because of that, they look at LoCIP money, other different avenues from the Public Works, which we have Donnie and us works really, they work together, but also completely separate entities. So maybe that's something we could even sit down with Donnie and talk about, off the record, and
That might open up different grant
Yeah.
opportunities, right?
that we don't know about. Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, Jack brought that up, and then I did some research, and most of it was done because Public Works, they have more access to those kind of opportunities than probably Park and Rec.
And a bigger budget.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
So we talked 3 or 4 months ago, I don't know, about grants.
Yeah.
We had a mom come up and talk about it, and then we kicked it around, talked about the potential of having somebody in the town government be a grant writer. So have we moved on that, or we're just looking at committees to write their own grant requests?
I think we've taken a little bit of a different approach when it comes to, at least with the Fred Wolf facility. Part of the specs that we put out were for the consulting group to give us the avenue, and then we would have to. It becomes hard to maintain a grant writer. I know from school districts, because we do a lot of grant writing. Grant writers usually come at very young age, come through, and then they leave. And it's hard to refill the positions. I just have seen that history. So we are going to look at it from the Fred Wolf perspective through our traffic study consultant. But we could talk to the first selectman. I mean, that would have to be a budgetary.
I mean, is it a full-time job?
It can be, but you can also,
Yeah,
I'm sure you can piecemeal it, or you can contract it, or there are probably other avenues to pursue. But my original point a while back, and I think this woman, Erica, said the same thing, is that the amount of money that you generate will far exceed what you pay for somebody to write a grant. So it's, the cost of benefit works in for us. So I would just be, because I'm sure we're not the only department that needs help with grant writing, right? We have to go to the capital planning committee every year and beg for stuff for different departments, and maybe some of those departments could benefit from the service of as a grant writer, so that we could all all have access to things that we need. So it might just be something that the town considers long-term as a way
Yeah.
to attack a lot of our needs.
There might be some history to that, but I could speak to Jimmy about it and see. Obviously, yeah, all the departments could use it. So it's probably well needed. But one of the ways that you do see it through different commissions, because we're all volunteers, is through the consultants. So that's the way the Fred Wolf will work. And it's more, they're professional. It's not just mainly what happens is a lot of towns, a lot of schools get grants because somebody has a specific interest or expertise, and then has a network to develop those grants that are available, and they have a connection. They write it, and then that person, when they don't have an interest, the high need of following the network, doing the writing, doing the research isn't that high. Usually it's within your area of industry, so it's hard. It's not as easy. I wish it was a lot easier. I know we did a lot for I did a lot when I was younger for Project Choice and for magnet schools in New Haven. And we really led the way in the country in magnet schools. But it was every year, I remember Dr. Mayo pressing us to, we would have to have major layoffs if we didn't continue the grant writing. So it was really a lot of stress. So, but we could sit down. I agree with Jim. Anything else? Okay. Well, let's see, that's it, record time now. Now that we've taken the Fred Wolf issue off of the Park and Rec Commission, it's pretty short meetings. No,
Dialogue anymore.
exactly. Oh, you know what? I do have a question, Dan. I don't know if we had talked about it previously, but Dan and I did send out a letter with the first selectman of requirements that we asked all the volunteer organizations. Maybe you can give us an update where we stand with that, because they're not due till next week,
Yep,
right?
next week after I said July 1st, but technically it's after the holiday. July 5th would be the day. I've received them from 2 of the organizations, just waiting on a couple more. And
Okay.
then we'll be all set. And then I'll report back on that. But I haven't gotten any, flack from it or anything. I sent out reminder emails to all the groups. They are well aware of it. Just, yeah, just all that stuff that we requested.
Updated insurance, their filings, board members, we want to know their in-kind. So we want to create, like, I want Dan to have a binder so that we know who the board, the board members are, who the, because that changes, about their bylaws, a copy of their bylaws. Things that probably we should have done a long time ago, and have their fiscal filings every year. We should have them on record. And their updated insurance every year should be, in there. And listen, we all, ours are citizen, Orange taxpayer-run volunteer organizations, but we also have an obligation to our town to protect our town and make sure that, everybody is following the rules in some sense. Yeah, and we're covered.
And we keep it on, and we have it, all the information, we keep it on file.
Yeah, that's all.
On a yearly basis, that's all it is. So
And
I
we-
will keep, in the July meeting, I'll give you an update on everything, and, there shouldn't be an issue, at all. And then, I'll just keep you updated on it.
And we should start probably, we'll wait till September, but in September, we should start bringing back the presidents, get them in here. We get that flowing, and this year, maybe we give a little bit easier flow. I think, with some of the differences with the leases, with soccer and, lacrosse and different things going on. And Fred Wolf last year took up a lot of our time. We didn't spend a lot of time with baseball and softball. They had a lot of great success. Just to, talk with everybody and give good updates. Okey dokey. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Steve, second. Jack, all in favor? Aye. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.